Hiya. Today I'm going to explain you the important topic from microwave engineering, that is construction and operation of reflex klystron reflex klystron oscillator. Okay, first of all, Klystrons are basically specialized tubes used as amplifiers and oscillators at the microwave frequency range. The reflex klystron is a single cavity variable frequency microwave generator, means it's an oscillator of low power and low efficiency. Its efficiency range is from 20 to 30% efficiency. Okay, efficiency range of reflex klystron is 20 to 30 percentage. Efficiency means eta, that is power output by power input. Efficiency of reflex klystron is 20 to 30 percentage. Okay, next, this is widely used in application where variable frequency is desired. We are using for the purpose of variable frequency of microwave devices. Its principle of operation is velocity and current modulation process. Okay, reflex klystron can operated based on two principles. One is velocity modulation, another one is current modulation. What is velocity modulation, what is current modulation, I'll tell you. Wait. Okay, right. Next, principle of operation is velocity and current modulation. If a fraction of the output power is fed back to the input cavity, and if the loop gain has a magnitude of unity, a phase shift of multiply 2 pi, the klystron will oscillate. I'll explain you clearly by using this diagram. Yeah, coming to the construction of reflex klystron, if you observe this, the negative source is connected to electron gun. This is an electron gun which eject electrons. Okay, I'll show you. Generally, cathode material is, this is electron gun. Cathode, we are applying negative supply like this, negative supply. If we apply the negative supply, it can eject the electrons. Okay, it produces the electrons. Electrons are traveling like this, which are produced by this cathode or electron gun. Okay, by applying this VA, negative supply. Okay, after that, this side we are connecting a repeller which gives the negative supply. This is repeller voltage. Observe, this terminal is connected to negative terminal. Okay, this is the negative terminal connected to repeller, so that it produce again negative charge here. Okay, now this is the cavity. This cavity we are connecting to this. Then electrons are moving up to now with up to cavity. I'll explain here clearly. Assume that this is the cavity, this is the electron gun producing electrons. I'll show you like this, producing electrons. Okay, like this electrons are produced up to the cavity. Electrons are traveling with speed of electron, that is E, but the cavity consists of a resonant signal like this sine wave. Okay, now the velocity modulation process is get started. What happened here is, I'll show you. The electrons are, the signal, resonant signal is like this. Electrons are coming like this. Okay, I'll show you with different color like this. Electrons are coming from the electron gun. The electrons, okay, which are traveling positive cycle, those electron velocity gets increases. Why? Because multiply with this positive energy, so that electron velocity get increases, which are traveling in this positive cycle. Which are traveling in zeroth place, those electron velocity unchanged. Electrons which are traveling this negative cycle, these electrons, those velocity is reduced. So those electrons are called decelerated electrons. Positive cycle, those electrons who are traveling to positive cycle, those electron velocity increases. The electrons which are traveling in the negative cycle, those electrons gets decelerated. Okay, because of this electron change in the electron velocities, those electrons are traveling later, but those electrons which are starting late and go to positive cycle, those are moving quickly. Those electrons are starting before this late electrons but going to negative cycle, so that those electron velocity get decreases so that they meet one place. Okay, I explain you here the velocity modulation process. Why? Because velocity modulation means changing. Velocity modulation, change of velocity. Here the electrons which are traveling in the positive half cycle get accelerated, the electrons which are traveling in the negative half cycle get decelerated. Finally the change in velocity is appear. So this process is called velocity modulation. Okay, velocity change in the velocity modulation. Okay, right. Here the electrons which are starting earlier, the electrons which are traveling late but going to positive cycle meet here, and those electrons start earlier but moving into negative cycle, those electrons get decelerated, so that these two electrons are meet at one place, form a bunch means group of electrons. Because of velocity modulation, bunches are forming, but this process is happening here in reflex klystron is different. Why? Because up to now this cavity gap velocity modulation process is happening. The electrons who get accelerated means increasing velocity. Because of increasing velocity, they get closer to this repeller. Why? Because they got more velocity, so that they cannot reflect before. Okay, some they can take more time to travel up to repeller, but those electrons who get decelerated, their energy decreases. Because of that, they can reflect back before the accelerated electrons. Simply I'll explain here. Okay, just I'll clear this. Okay, accelerated electrons means this is the repeller which is giving negative charge, so that these are electrons also negative charge. Accelerated electrons are moving up to now, and because of electron is negative and this repeller connected to negative repulsion, repelled back. Okay, but coming to late electrons, what happening in late electrons means, okay, I'll explain you. Okay, earlier electrons traveling into the negative half cycle, those electron velocity decreases, so that what happened here is electrons are moving up to now and get repelled. Why? Because they are decelerated electrons, their energy is reduced, and because of this process, these two electrons are meet at one place, form a bunch group of electrons forming bunch. Because of these bunches, the energy is produced. This is called current modulation process. Accelerated electrons are reaches near to the repeller, decelerated electrons are returned back to the repeller more distance compared to the accelerated electrons. Because of this process, these two electrons are meet at one place forming bunches. Because of these bunches, some energy is produced. Those energy, that produced energy is kinetic energy. Kinetic energy can be catched by this cavity gap, that is resonant signal, and that converts kinetic energy to the microwave energy and gives the output. We collect output by using coaxial loop here, that is produce sustained oscillations. That is the simple explanation for reflex klystron oscillator. Okay, I think you understand this. The same working is I mentioned here. Positive electrons, the electrons which are moving positive cycle get accelerated, negative cycle get decelerated. Just for your reference you may take screenshot of this. Okay. Okay, I'll give time, please take your screenshots if you want. I'll show the diagram of reflex klystron. If you want, take the screenshot. Okay, this is the working. If you want material, then please take screenshot of this. Okay, this is my explanation. If you want, just I'll go through from starting onwards. Okay, here reflex klystron, this is the working. Okay, your reference diagrams. Thank you for watching. Signing off, Rajesh Balaka. Thank you.